Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So this is Happy Friday, people, and it's been chaos. So I, of course, drove my 100 miles for school. My Invisalign have been killing me because I put in a new pair yesterday, which I'm happy to do. Let's think about this. This is pair number 15. So I think that's like 30 weeks. I guess I'm at the halfway mark because I have 30 sets to wear. So, yay me. But they're tight, which means they're working, but ouch. Okay, ouch. So then I came home, I'm doing my stuff, and my husband had to jump in the shower. Excuse me. And you know, the center one that like turns up the power? The center one came right out in his hand. Yeah. I think you can have a life-size picture of what that sounded like. Came shooting out of the wall. Not good, not good. Luckily, we do have a second shower, so we'll see how that plays. But, you know, he's going to try and DIY it because it costs like $500 for a plumber. But it's funny how DIYs can turn into $1,000. $500 for the plumber you didn't use. For the one that you did. Come on, yes or no on that. All right, anyway, though, let's get on with it. So we're in the middle of two different things. One is love yourself, 10 ways to love yourself. And the other one is just 20 traps that happen in life. So let's get on with love yourself. For number 6 is make a home-cooked meal. Now, I'm primarily raw vegan, so I won't be making a home-cooked meal, but I will make a meal that honors my body, and that is showing self-love, right? So I will definitely be making, actually kind of a fun one. One of my favorites tonight, I already have my food ready, is I absolutely love my coleslaw. You know, it's just shredded cabbage, shredded carrot. And then one of my favorite dressings that I use, tahini, pear, green apple, dulse flakes, and apple cider vinegar. And it makes a thick, lovely dressing. And then I like to sprinkle smoked paprika on top. I'm going to have a big bowl of that. And then I also am going to have just a really simple dessert. It's 2 cups of frozen mango and 1 frozen banana. And I'm going to go ahead and blend that up, and I'm going to have some cinnamon on top with that. So I've already had a meal earlier today, so that's my plan. It is Lent. It is Friday, for those of you who follow, which of course means no meat Friday. So, but for some reason you're allowed to have fish. It is so bad. I'm like, God bless everyone, but because they think Jesus was a fisherman. It said Jesus was a fisher of men, okay? He was a fisher of men. He said, lay down your nets, like stop fishing, lay down your nets and come with me, and we will fish for the soul of men instead of fillet of soul, okay? Like, I don't even know what to say about that. But with that understanding, my husband is going to have fish. I know. Fish die exponentially at Lent, and can't only blame the Catholic Church, okay? Though it turns out it was a Catholic who developed filet of fish for McDonald's during Lent so many years ago. But other faiths also celebrate. Anyway, one day, maybe we'll be free of the fish on Fridays as well. But anyway, everyone's doing their best. I'm doing my best. Let's get on with it. So a home-cooked meal, because that feels like love, right? To take care of yourself and nourish your body, and I agree. All right, so here is our 16th trap, and don't worry, you're right on time if you're just joining us. Our 16th trap in life. These just occur for humans in general. They generally will experience this in their walk, wherever they are, whenever they are. The trap of not realizing that progress requires change. How powerful is that in itself? The trap of not realizing that progress requires change. You cannot move forward without some form of change, because if you didn't dare to change, you'd be stuck where you were, right? But I love them putting it that way. So it says, have you ever noticed that everybody loves progress, but hardly anybody loves change? So yes. What we want, according to Sidney J. Harris, is for things to remain the same, but get better. Oh, okay, I'm in love with this talk already. I am in love with this talk already. The problem we must confront is that improvement requires change. Things cannot get better without change. It's also been observed that it's not so much change that we don't like. It's when we must change that we tend to get uneasy. Oh, let's read that again. It's not so much change we don't like. It's when we must change that we tend to get uneasy. We're all for the world changing. We're all for our friends and colleagues changing. We're all for our community, our school, and our company, and our neighbors changing. But we're not as excited about changing ourselves. Amen. Oh, I love this. We must avoid the trap of thinking that progress can occur in the absence of change. It cannot. Progress requires change. And sometimes the change can be distasteful, unpleasant, and even painful. Well, hey, let's get to my Invisalign. I always like to talk about the immediate example. I wanted better, improved teeth because they were starting to move over time. To change them, I have to wear Invisalign. It is uncomfortable, it is awkward, and it is necessary. So, okay, just that like immediate, how can I apply this example? Right? Okay. We must want to change more than we want to avoid the distaste, unpleasantness, and pain. That's a great sentence. Let's go again. We must want the change more than we want to avoid the distaste, unpleasantness, and pain. Yes, I do want my teeth, not just for the aesthetic value, though they certainly are looking better and they'll look amazing when they're done. But I think it's important that they be aligned because I'm only at the halfway mark of my life. So if I have 50-something years to go, you know, not just hotness, but I want my teeth in proper order. Okay. We must change one for the other. Oh, forgive me. We must exchange one for the other. And those things worth pursuing and having are worth the exchange. We recognize that not all change results in progress. Bum, 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 bum. Not all change results in progress. But without change, there can be no progress at all. Straight up, straight up. But without change, there can be no progress at all. I agree. You're right. You're right. I agree. I like that a lot. I think about my diet and how, though I'd been even heavier, the last time I got extremely obese, and I'm still considered obese at this moment, I couldn't function. So the first time I got to 330 pounds and was starting to go forward from there, but my scale wouldn't let me weigh, I was still young. The weight was new, kind of fleshy, not quite settled in place. And I was fast and furious. And by young, I mean early 30s or something. I don't know. But I guess I was trying to think about that. So interesting. Somehow I just put on a truckload of weight from 27 to 29, I guess. Well, yeah, it's super easy to gain a couple, more than 100 pounds in a year. I've done it 6 times. So somehow, okay, let's think about that. So my birthday is at the very end of the month. But I know I could be in denial about what I weighed at 27, but I can remember an exact outfit I had on, of course, and what size it was. And it was only a 1X. Anyway, somehow I hit 330 somewhere around 20, in my 29, summer of 29 years old. Not 1929, thank you. And then by I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. My times are messed up because I know that at the end of my 30th year, I got down to 303. Yeah, I think I spent that whole year. Anyway, I'll go down memory lane later. Anyway, my point was with that is that in my 29s, I could still function at 330. In my 50s, when I suddenly was at 280, I couldn't. I could barely wipe myself. I could barely reach around myself. I probably just wasn't as flexible. I don't know. And I'm super flexible. I couldn't do my bra by myself. Like, it was getting there. It was going in that direction, and it scared me to death. Okay. And what was interesting was in between that, like when I was about 44 or so, I had found out I had kidney disease. I got off of all sugars per se, meaning just your typical packaged nonsense. And I dropped weight, and I was down to like 202, and I was on my way to health. And then I slipped a brain cell, and all of a sudden found myself, a couple of years later at 280. And so when I was at 280 and thought, I can't do this, I'm too old, my body's not the same that it was, I cannot get diseased, and things are going seriously in the wrong order, I started seeking health. And that's when I, stumbled on to all the wonderfulness of not just vegan, but raw vegan and plant-based vegan. And that's where I am now. So it hasn't been comfortable at times, but I've always known that it was the better way. And so I'm continuing that walk. But yeah, some of the discomfort of it isn't the actual doing, but people's responses to me doing it, right? It's so funny. People want me to be normal weight, strong, healthy. They just don't want me to get there being vegan and raw vegan. What? You cannot have change, right, without actually acting on it. Not yet. One day they may have some magical something, but from what I can tell, you always have to put in the work. All right, my friends, thanks for letting me process that in real time. Like if you like, join us if you haven't subscribed. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. I'm going to go help with the broken shower. And until we talk again, best of all, know that you're blessed.